सबको नमस्ते जी।
नमस्ते जी।
सबको नमस्ते जी।
Namaste.
सबको नमस्ते जी. Today is November 3rd, Friday, 2023, and we are now going to start our session on Sandhya Upaasanaa and Mantra Swadhyaya. Our speaker today is Ananya ji from Vaidik, Atlanta Vedic Temple. I'm going to spotlight her.
नमस्ते जी। सबको सादर नमस्ते
Please start कर दीजिए जब भी आप चाहें.
जी। ठीक है। During our daytime, throughout the day, we dip down in the pains, we go through the defeats, we go through the sufferings, we go through the miseries. So throughout the day, we pass through pain and pleasure, respect and disrespect, favorable and adverse circumstances. So it is said that doing Sandhya or doing meditation is like charging our battery, because when we go through the ups and downs of life, then we lose patience, we lose fortitude, we lose our tolerance power. So this is the place, and we cannot buy this tolerance, Sahan Shakti, Dhairya, patience, we cannot buy from the market. This is the place, this is the way we can sit with ourselves, whether in meditation or in Sandhya, when we reflect and contemplate on its meaning, when we make ourselves focused on the qualities of that Supreme Being, we make commitments. So the more and more we understand the nature of God, the more and more we make commitments, better we are able to charge, to strengthen ourselves and to shine and rise in our lives. So that's why Sandhya is prescribed by our sages as a part of Brahm Yajna to elevate our life. So with these prayers to God to give us patience and to give us fortitude, to give us tolerance in our day-to-day activities, we pray to Him and we seek for His grace and blessings. So with these prayers, let's close our eyes gently. Inhale deeply. Again inhale. One last time. ॐ शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शंयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः ॐ वाक् ॐ प्राणः प्राणः ॐ चक्षुः ॐ श्रोत्रं श्रोत्रम् ॐ नाभिः ॐ हृदयम् ॐ कण्ठः ॐ शिरः ॐ बाहुभ्यां यशोबलम् ॐ करतलकरपृष्ठे ॐ भूः पुनातु शिरसि ॐ भुवः पुनातु नेत्रयोः ॐ स्वः पुनातु कण्ठे ॐ महः पुनातु हृदये ॐ जनः पुनातु नाभ्याम् ॐ तपः पुनातु पादयोः ॐ सत्यं पुनातु पुनः शिरसि ॐ खं ब्रह्म पुनातु सर्वत्र ॐ भुः ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ महः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम् ॐ रेतं च सत्यं चाभिधात्तपसोऽध्यजायत ततो रात्र्यजायत ततः समुद्रो अर्णवः ॐ समुद्रादर्णवादधि संवत्सरो अजायत अहोरात्राणि विदधद्विश्वस्य मिषतो वशि ॐ सूर्याचन्द्रमसौ धाता यथा पूर्वमकल्पयत् दिवं च पृथिवीं चान्तरिक्षमथो स्वः ॐ शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शंयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः Let's reflect on the qualities, the supreme attributes of God, and pray for His grace. In the upcoming mantras, we pray to Him that may we rise, may we go beyond jealousy and comparing ourselves with others. Udichi dik somodhipatihi. That Supreme Being is Som. He is the embodiment of peace. Svajo, he is unborn. Rakshita Shani Rishavah. He protects us through his arrows, which are flashes of knowledge. We get his inspiration, we get that inner voice within us. When we pay attention to that inner voice, when we follow those flashes of knowledge, then we take the right decision and we become virtuous. ॐ प्राचीदिगग्निरधिपतिरसितो रक्षितादित्या ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं भोजं भेदद्मः ॐ दक्षिणादिगिन्द्रोऽधिपतिस्तिरश्चिराजि रक्षिता पितर इषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं भोजं भेदद्मः ॐ प्रतीचिदिक्वरुणोऽधिपतिः प्रीदाकु रक्षितान्नमिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं भोजं भेदद्मः ॐ उदीचिदिक्सोमोऽधिपतिः स्वजो रक्षिता शनिरिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं भोजं भेदद्मः ॐ ध्रुवादिग्विष्णुरधिपतिः कल्माषग्रीवो रक्षिता विरुधैषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं भोजं भेदद्मः ॐ ऊर्ध्वादिक्बृहस्पतिरधिपतिः श्वित्रो रक्षिता वर्षमिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं भोजं भेदद्मः ॐ उद्वयं तमसस्परि-स्वः पश्यन्त उत्तरम् देवं देवत्रा सूर्यमगन्मज्योतिरुत्तमम् ॐ उदुत्यं जातवेदसं देवं वहन्ति केतवः दृशे विश्वाय सूर्यम् ॐ चित्रं देवानामुदगादनीकं चक्षुर्मित्रस्य वरुणस्याग्नेः आप्राद्या पृथिवी अन्तरिक्षं सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तस्थुषश्च स्वाहा ॐ तच्चक्षुर्देवहितं पुरस्तात् शुक्रमुच्चरत् पश्येम शरदः शतं जीवेम शरदः शतं शृणुयाम शरदः शतं प्रब्रवाम शरदः शतमदीनाः श्याम शरदः शतं भूयश्च शरदः शतात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। हे ईश्वर दयानिधे भवत्कृपयानेन जपोपासनादिकर्मणा धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणां सद्यः सिद्धिर्भवेन्नः। ॐ नमः शम्भवाय च मयोभवाय च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। So now let's move to the mantra swadhyaya of today. I'll share my screen with the mantra. Okay, just give me. Yeah, just one more second. Yeah, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So this is the mantra from Rig Veda, 8th Mandal, 98th Sukt and 3rd mantra. This sukt has total of 12 mantras, and this entire sukt talks about the qualities of God. What all does He bless us with? How is He the giver of knowledge, the giver of light, the giver of happiness, and the giver of eternal bliss? All the mantras in this sukt talks about this from the various aspects. And the very famous mantra Tvam Hina Pitavaso, that mantra is also from this sukt only. That is the, I believe, 11th mantra of this sukt. In that mantra also we say that you are my father and you are my mother. You take care of us as father and mother. So that's why we worship you, we commune with you, we pray to you for your blessing. Now coming to this mantra, this 3rd mantra, this also talks about His glory, His illumination, how is He shining, and how is He glorifying. So it says Vibhrajan. Bhra means to shine through. Bhra means chamakna. Basically, bha means chamakna and V means vishesh roop se, in a special way. So, and Jyotisha with his light, with his illumination, with his rays, with his light. So that supreme God, He illuminates, He shines, He glorifies with His light. So whenever we do the meaning of the mantra in terms of materialistic world, in terms of this physical world, it is in the form that He shines because He is the giver of light to the entire solar system, to the entire celestial region. All the stars, sun, they shine because of they give us light because that supreme God, He upholds them and He is the giver of that light to them. So that's why He shines because He shines because He is the giver of light to that celestial region. And when we talk about in terms of spiritual world, in terms of animate world, in terms of us, the sentient beings, the human beings. He illuminates with his knowledge, because knowledge is always parallel with light. As we need light to do our things, to proceed in life, because whenever we are in a dark room and whenever we are in a dark place, if there is no light, we cannot proceed further in our life. As long as there is light, there is a continuous presence of light, we can move ahead in life. Similarly, as long as we have that knowledge in our life to move ahead in our life, we can proceed further, we can move further, we can upgrade us in our life. So that God, he illuminates with his light, with his knowledge. He is the embodiment of that knowledge. Rochanam Divaha, because the meaning of Rochanam Diva means Divlok and Rochanam means giver of the light. So because he gives the light to that celestial region. Swaha Agacho. This is the combination of two words, Swaha plus Agacho. Agacha, and that becomes O as per the Vedic grammatical rules. So Swaha means Sukh, Swaha means pleasure, Swaha means comfort and happiness. So he gives us happiness and comfort by being the source of light to that celestial region. Because if there is no sun, there is no source of light, all the animate life will end on this planet in 18 days, except the few microorganisms which can live beneath the earth. Otherwise, all the life will vanish within 18 days. So he gives us comfort and pleasure of life by being the source of light for that sun, which is considered as the soul of this physical world. But it says not just that pleasure, not just that comfort of warmth and heat, but he gives us a far more pleasure, far more happiness than that. He gives us that eternal joy and eternal bliss. Agach, gam dhatu. This word is formed from gam dhatu. Agach, we attain that. We acquire that happiness. We acquire that eternal bliss. We acquire that eternal joy, that long-lasting joy, which is far more than that physical comfort, which is far more than that physical happiness or physical pleasure which we get from the sun and all other planets, because of his knowledge. And he gives his knowledge in by three ways. The first is through the Vedas, second is through his creation, and third is through his inner voice. When he directs us, he guides us through his flashes of knowledge. As I mentioned in the Sandhya, that many a times we get that inspiration, we get that divine guidance from him whenever we are in need of that. So that is also a way of God to protect us, to guide us on the right path, to help us choose the righteous path in life. So now, as he is the giver of eternal bliss through his knowledge, because he is the embodiment of knowledge, he is all seer, he is all pervading, and he is omniscient. He knows each and everything. That is why the next line of the mantra says, Devaha, Devas, Devaha, Ta, Indra Sakhyaya, Yemire. That is why Devaha, the learned people, the scholar people, the wise people, Ta. Ta is basically for him, for that supreme God, for his Sakhyaya, for his friendship. Sakhyaya means for his friendship, and ta means his, Sakhyaya means for his, for friendship. So ta Sakhyaya, for his friendship, for the friendship of Indra, that all prosperous God, who is the giver of happiness and prosperity, both worldly and spiritual, to attain that, Devaha, the learned people, aspire for his friendship. But how do they aspire for his friendship? How do they acquire his friendship? How do they attain that eternal bliss? Through his friendship? Ye mere. So here also the root word is yam. Yam means control, because we know the words niyam. So niyam means discipline. Similarly, there is a word niyantran. There also the center word is yam. So yam always means control. So by controlling the self, by following the life of discipline, by following a life of self-restraint, of obedience, devaha, learned people, wise people, yearn for his friendship. They aspire for his friendship by living a life of self-control. So this is a very simple meaning of this mantra, that a learned person practice self-restraint for the friendship of God. Now, the two significant words in this is Sakhyai and Yemire. That how can one become worthy of his friendship, and what is the significance of word Sakhya, and what does exactly self-control or disciplined life mean? Does it mean the extreme austerity, the extreme ascetic life? Are they talking about that? What exactly is being signified here? So first I talk about this word Sakhya. So this is not a normal word. Sakhya we know means, in English it means friend, friendship. But it has a very profound meaning. They could have also used the word here mitra, but Sakhya has its own significance. Sakhya means saman khyan. Khyan means knowledge. Sankhya Darshan, if you have heard about this, there also it means some means proper or appropriate, khya means knowledge. That Sankhya Darshan also talks about the very profound knowledge of the 25 entities. Similarly, here Sakhya means two people are called to be friend. They are called to be Sakhya only if they have Saman Khyan, if they have same thoughts, same tendencies, same nature, same qualities, same experiences, and same habits. So we call two people as Sakhya only then. And there is a very beautiful shlok that मृगैश्च संगम अनुव्रजन्ति गावश्च गोभिर्तुरंगास्तुरंगै मूर्खाश्च मूर्खा सुधिया सुधीभिः समानशील व्यसनेषु सख्यम. So the people who have same sheel, who have same nature, who have same disposition, same propensities, they can become good friends. Like people like each other. And whenever we choose our friend, it is our natural tendency to look for those kind of people who have similar attributes as me, who have similar nature as me. And all other relations, being my family members, my parents, my children, my relatives, my neighbors, I do not choose for myself. They are what I have been given as per the actions of my previous birth, or as per the actions of my current birth. I get my uh, I, I beget my children. But there is only and only one relation which I choose for myself, and that is the relation of a friend. That is up to me with whose company I want to be with. As I told you that shlok mriga mrigaschai a sangam anubrajanti, that as a deer looks for the company of a deer, cows seek for the company of cows, horses follow horses, fools follow fools, wise people seek for the company of wise people. Similarly, only like person like each other. That's why whenever we choose a friend, whosoever we want to be in company with, because whenever we are in the company of good people, it always protects us from ill thoughts, from ill actions, because their actions, their nature, their way of speaking, that all inspires us and protects us from indulging into wrongdoing. And that's why they say that the learned people, they seek for the company of that supreme being. And this is not a normal friendship with that supreme being. This is the friendship at the level of soul. This is not at the level of mind, intellect, or body. This is deep down at the level of soul. Only when we get down at the level of soul, we understand the attributes of soul, we understand our true nature at the level of soul. That's why Manusmriti says, Veda Smriti Sadachara Swasya Cha Priyamatmanah. They are also the one of the one of the parameters of dharma is what I like at the level of soul, not at the level of mind or intellect, because my mind can be full of any other desires or thoughts which are not good for me. But when I realize, or when I clean myself of all the impurities, I realize myself at the level of soul, I know my true attributes. At that level, whatever decision I take, whatever aspirations I tend to, whatever activities I tend to, they are always the path of dharma. They are always the path of righteousness. So my attributes matches 100% with that of supreme being. That's why Dev people, deities, they aspire for his friendship. The way God is embodiment of love, he is embodiment of justice, of compassion, of righteousness, of virtuousness. Same same kind of virtues I have in myself. The only thing is I need to realize them. And many a times in our life we realize them too. And but and there is another mantra in the seven samulas of Satyarth Prakash that is also on the same lines, wherein it says Aham Indro na parajigya idhanam na mrityavet avatasya kadachana somam ma sunvanto. So in that mantra also the God ordains that stay in my friendship, never sever your friendship with me, always be in my friendship. Only then you will be able to overcome your miseries and sorrows in life. Now the thing is, if I have, the question arises, if I have the same qualities and same attributes as that of God, then why I do not feel that level of friendship? Because friendship gives me the strength. If I am in friendship of with a person who is in governance, that always gives me a confidence, a strength, that if I need to get something done at that level, it will be easy for me. If somebody has a very good doctor as his or her friend, he feels assured that whenever I'll feel sick or if I'll need something, he's always with me. Similarly, if somebody experiences his friendship with that supreme being, he also become courageous, he also become righteous, he also become fearless and free from sorrows and miseries. But if that doesn't happen with us, it means our friendship has not reached to, our bond with that supreme being has not reached to that level. Why? Because of our actions, our nature do not, because we are not able to reach there with our actions. For example, God is, he is also the embodiment of, he is also the bestower of all the arrangements. He is Vratapati. He is the master of vows. He sticks to his vows. He does not break his sankalp. He lives with his arrangement. He does not make any change in his arrangement. His knowledge is perfect. That's why we say Yatha Purvama Kalpayat, that exactly the same way he has created this existence in the previous creation, the same way he creates it now. So he does not change his arrangements. He always stick to his arrangement. He always stick to the principles and laws. But we ordinary people, we do not want to stick with the arrangements, with the disciplines, with the laws. We become weak. We are not able to keep us uh, in that self-restraint mode. That's why in Kathopanishad, Acharya Yam says, "Na sampraya pratibhati balam." that those people who are of childish intellect, who are they do not like rules, they do not like regulations, they do not like laws. So how should I teach them and how should I preach them? So similarly, if we also follow his arrangement, we also follow his laws, his principles, if we lead a disciplined life, that's why Devjan also acquire his friendship by living a life of self-discipline, by living a life of self-restraint. And now that self-restraint, um, how is that possible? That also doesn't mean going through the severe asceticism or severe austerity in life. बहुत कठोर तप करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है. It always suggests for us, the ordinary people, only those people who have elevated them to that highest level of yoga, they can automatically live that life of austerity, which can be which can be of higher level. But for us, Gita says, Yuktahara Viharasya, you must have heard this slok, Yuktahara Viharasya, Yukta Swapnasya, Yukta Swapnavabodhasya, that for us ordinary people, we should always take the golden middle path. We should be moderate, we should be temperate in our um, doings, in our indulgences, that neither go for that extreme austerity nor indulge too much in the sensual or bodily pleasures. Always choose the middle path, and that middle path should be like that your body and your mind, they should always be in a balanced state. Because if I will go for a very tasty food, very delicious food every time, a food which should always be perfect according to my taste, it will make me attached to that food, it will make me uh, entangled with that pleasure. Or if I go for extremely blank food, extremely tasteless food, boiled food, then that will make me averse. In that case, I will not be able to maintain the balance of my body. I will So one need to be balanced in work, regulated in sleep and wakefulness, and temperate in his recreation and his pleasures. Only then we are able to elevate ourselves little by little in our life. And the prime thing is that our body and mind should always be in the healthy and pleasant state always. That should be our target, because we know that we are not this body, but at the same time, this is the career which will take to our ultimate destination. So in any case, we should maintain that our body should not get diseased, should not ailment should not come to me. That's where I need to take balanced path, and that will help me rise in my life. There is a very beautiful story of Gautam Buddha as well, that before gaining enlightenment, he gave up drinking and eating, and he simply sat for meditation for a couple of days. And because he didn't get proper nourishment, he was feeling dizzy and he was not able to steady his mind in meditation. So he was not feeling good about himself. So at that time, few women were passing by, and they said they were singing a song, which meant they were carrying pots of water on their head and they were singing a song. And the meaning of that song was, there is a musical instrument tanpura, which is similar to Indian that guitar. So they were singing that strengthen those strings, not to lose, because if their strings are loose, they will not give proper sound. Not tighten them too much that they get broken. Same goes for our life, that to enjoy a healthy life and to experience that enjoyment for a long time, we need to take a balanced approach. My mother-in-law used to say that thoda खाएगा तो फिर खाएगा, नहीं तो स्तू भी जाएगा. Means if we eat in moderation, then we can enjoy that pleasure of eating for a long time. But if we indulge too much in eating, then we whatever we have, we lose that as well. And one last thing, it says that who gets the friendship of that God. So in that 7th chapter, Satyarth Prakash, which I was referring to, there it says Somam it sunvantaha. Those people who squeeze out the nectar, the essence with their hard work, only they get that friendship of God. It is not a ready-made dish. You will not get his friendship by just sitting idle or by not reaching to that level. So one needs to be disciplined. Churning or squeezing out the essence, squeezing out the nectar is not an easy job. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes discipline. For example, converting a milk into ghee is a long process. I will not go into that because my time is also over. So, but it's a long process. It takes time, it takes discipline. But if one gets stuck with the milk, if one gets content with the milk, he will never be able to reach to that essence. He will not be able to reach to the nectar. He will not be able to enjoy the taste of ghee. So similarly, we need to continuously do hard work, gain knowledge by being patient. केवल और केवल एक धीर व्यक्ति अपने लक्ष्य तक पहुंच सकता है. He becomes deserving of that friendship of God. So with that said, I conclude my speech. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
आप जरा स्क्रीन स्टॉप शेयर द स्क्रीन प्लीज.
जी, sure.
ठीक है, चलिए जी, किसी को कोई प्रश्न है तो पूछ सकते हैं आप. यू हैव टू अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ.
अनन्या जी नमस्ते. मैंने थोड़ा मिस किया जहां पर आपने कहा यदि वहां पर प्रकाश नहीं है तो 18 days, वो
जी.
पार्ट फिर से दोहराएंगे आप?
हाँ जी, because our body gets vitamin D from that sun rays, and जो whatever warmth and heat from which we get from that sun, if that is not there, then if that heat is not there, then our life will perish. We will not be able to survive.
How does this 18 days number comes?
I don't know exactly the this 18 count, but I have heard this in one of the videos that they said in one of the science videos that based on their evaluation, we cannot survive without that without those rays, without that heat more than 18 days. So yeah,
that could be true in old times, but these days you have artificial heat, you
yeah.
You can survive with that one for months,
Yeah,
especially
actually, what I have heard is that all this heat of fire, of any other artificial light, the ultimate source is that sun. So if that is gone, so I think gradually all this whatever sources we have, other sources of heat, they will also not be able to help us survive.
we have radionuclides that can survive millions of years.
Okay.
100,000 years, So, I mean, they are using radioactive materials in nuclear reactors to produce electricity. I mean, they may not be able to meet the demands of all the 7 billion people, but anyway, we
धन्यवाद.
don't get into this. Okay,
Maybe
so
few people can survive.
people can survive. But anyway, thank you very much. आप शांति पाठ कर दीजिए, then I can, stop the live streaming. 1 मिनट में जरा इनको दिखा दूं जो आप अभी पढ़ रहे थे. ये मंत्र, some people make notes of these things.
Sure.
So I think मैंने किया था यहाँ पर. I can find it. There it is. ये बोल रहे थे, यही था ना आपका मंत्र?
हाँ जी, ये श्लोक, हाँ जी.
श्लोक, हाँ जी, ये श्लोक यही था. So if somebody is jotting it down, they can at least jot down the few words
Yeah.
in the beginning, and then they can look it into the Google, and it will show up. And that's how I got it too. Put it in the Google, and it came back.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
only thing is that deer follows deer, and then cows follow cows, because ये गांव
Yeah.
गाय के लिए. Yeah, it
So
should
I
be
just
cows.
copied. I just copied it like
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
it was.
I understand. I understand. Yeah, but I was just correcting it so that every people get it right.
Yeah. So
ये
almost
कहाँ से है श्लोक बोला जी?
ये मैंने ज़्यादा डिस्कवरी नहीं किया है, क्योंकि I just wanted to bring it over here and then put it over there. You can Google it; it will show you. Yeah.
जी ठीक है,
ठीक है,
धन्यवाद।
Yeah, ठीक है, चलो शांति पाठ कर दीजिए, फिर इसको
जी।
क्लोज द सेशन.
जी. Let's close our eyes. ॐ द्यौ शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः.
आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. You gave very good examples. You gave example of Mahatma Buddha that I liked. And I also heard about one more thing about him. He said because of his austerity, one time he just fell down and a lady saw him. You heard about that one? तो वो लेडी भी उसके लिए खीर बना के लाई. खीर थी उसके पास, वो खीर खा के दी. Then he got enough energy to get up and do something. And then I don't know how far that is true, and that people are saying that that's what motivated him, that he has to follow a middle path, not too much tapasya in the jungles,
Yeah.
but and not overeating over here also. And he just followed the middle path. But I mean, this is just her stories, the how far they are
Yes,
true,
yes.
we don't know.
Yeah,
it's the
maybe he
same
has. Yeah.
It's the same story that he had decided to live on 1 grain of rice for some time.
Yeah.
And after some days, he had felt faint. And then a woman brings her rice or kheer, I don't know exactly. And that's when he decides that. But, if you look at Ishopanishad, that is middle path,
Yes.
all those Vidyam Avidyam cha, or chahe
Yes.
Sambhutim Vasambhutim, those are both talking about find the
Middle.
middle path for yourself. That's the way at least I have looked at them. Yeah.
Yes. And that's why Yog Darshan also says, when you do tap, always ensure that your mind should not get too much miserable. मतलब इतना तप नहीं करना that today I have a habit of getting up at that maybe at 6:30 or 7. From tomorrow onwards, I decide for myself I'll get up at 3:30 or 4. So it becomes too much for a people like him. So slowly increase your level. उस तप को धीरे धीरे बढ़ाते जाइए and maintain the pleasantness of your mind. Then you will be able to level yourself up and reach there. Yeah.
ठीक है जी, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जुड़ने का. कल just a reminder, tomorrow's APSA Havan at 11 a.m. Those who would like to join, please do join over there. I don't have the information right now who is conducting it, but it will be put in the WhatsApp group. So thank you all for joining. Now the timing will change. Our time will not change. जो हम इंडिया से जुड़ रहे हैं उनका टाइम उनको 1 घंटा और मिल जाएगा. So उनको instead of getting up at 3:30, they can perhaps get up at 4:30 to join this one. But हमारा टाइम चेंज होगा, हमारा टाइम सेम रहेगा. ठीक है जी, सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सबका जुड़ने का. नमस्ते जी सबको. और मैं I'm closing the session.
Thank you, Ananya ji. Thank you.
धन्यवाद Ananya जी.
Thank you. Thank you सभी को. Thank you राजपाल जी.
आपने बहुत अच्छी एग्जांपल दी. Thank you very much.
संतोष जी, एक्चुअली तो टाइम तो हम लोग का बदलेगा, आपका नहीं बदलेगा, because it'll act like you have to adjust and not we, because we'll change our time by 1 hour basically.
Yeah. What I meant was we will.
No, I know. I'm just being a little bit making a comment. Maybe I should not have.
We will still meet at 6 p.m. Eastern
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
For them, it will become 4:30 a.m.
Yes, you're right.
Okay. Okay जी,
धन्यवाद
सबको
राजबाला
नमस्ते।
जी।
अच्छा, नमस्ते।